Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be comparing the 300 Spartans, released in 1962, versus 300, released in 2007. Alright, so let's get started on this one with the leads. The 300 Spartans stars Richard Egan and Ralph Richardson. 300 stars Gerard Butler and David Wenham. Now, I really like the leads on both of these films. But Richard Egan, he feels to me more like a Western actor. I mean, by that I mean he would fit right at home playing in a Western. So his performance in this, acting alongside British actors like, Ralph Richardson and everything, and other British actors that are in this film, it just feels a little bit off to me with the 300 Spartans in here. Richard Egan gives a pretty good performance as Leonidas in here, but it just feels off with him because, like I said, he feels like he's from a Western. Both with his delivery, the way he delivers his dialogue, and the way he performs. Whereas Gerard Butler, oh my God, he embodies Leonidas in more of an over-the-top manner, but it fits with the film that 300 is. And David Wenham, I've always liked him. He is very underrated as a supporting actor. He's always solid in whatever he plays in. And he is very good in this. So, I'm going to give the slight edge to 300 for this one. Alright, so let's look at supporting and see if we can get a different outcome there. Supporting cast on 300 Spartans consists of Diane Baker, Barry Coe, David Farrar, Donald Houston, Anna Sinadunuo, and Kieron Moore. The supporting cast in 300 consists of Lena Headey, Dominique West, Rodrigo Santoro, Vincent Reagan, Michael Fassbender, and Peter Mensah. Well, the supporting on the 300 Spartans, it fares a little better than the leads because even though most of these actors on here in the supporting are pretty much British actors, it still has an overall vibe of a Western in here, as the way that they are directed and the way this is performed for whatever reason. But performances are pretty damn good. Standouts include, of course, David Farrar as Xerxes and Donald Houston as his main person that's in charge of the Persians. Very, very fine cast here. 300, Lena Headey is excellent as Queen Gorgo. She is a perfect leading lady standing by her man. Whereas in 300 Spartans you have Anna Sinadunuo, and she just does not bring that same quality that Lena did. Now you have to think about it. It's a different time period. This is the 60s. This is 2000s. Of course, they're going to give the Queen a much more tougher, dominant vibe to her in this film. But yeah, I loved Lena in her role. Rodrigo Santoro as Xerxes, he's played just like Gerard Butler is. He's played over the top more. They're making him look like this gigantic monster of a man, and it's just, it's funny how over the top 300 is in a way, but it works with the context of how it was put together and how the film is made. And then, of course, you have Michael Fassbender in here playing a pretty good supporting role in here. He's always good in anything he's in. Biggest disappointment in 300 supporting is Peter Mensah. Great actor, and yet they bring him in for this messenger role. He gets some really good moments where he's talking to Leonidas, and then, boom, that famous scene where he gets kicked into the hole.
This is Sparta!
Now, there's one thing you can give to 300. It's very quotable. So, I'm going to give this one to 300. All right, so let's move on to story and see if we can get a different outcome here. All right, both films tell the tale of the Battle of Thermopylae. And while the 300 Spartans, as I said, it feels more like a Western, and the final battle, in fact, feels kind of like the Alamo, in a way. Whereas 300, it feels like a graphic novel brought to life. Very well executed, taking Frank Miller's graphic novel that was based on the real-life battle and, making this graphic novel, put some over-the-top comic book spin on it. And the film is basically a pretty damn perfect adaptation of that graphic novel. So two different vibes for films here, and it's the Western feel of the 300 Spartans just makes it just feel off to me. So I'm going to give this one to 300 as well. All right, so let's move on to direction and see if we can get our final winner, even though this looks like it's a landslide. All right, so 300 Spartans was directed by Rudolph Mattei. 300 was directed by Zack Snyder. Rudolph Mattei, just like I've said in the rest of this, he directs this film like a Western. To me, it feels like a Western film. And I guess that would be fine for someone who really likes Westerns, but given the time period and the costumes, the period costumes where you got the Spartan outfits and the Persian outfits and everything on these characters, it just feels weird to have directed this film in such a Westernish style. So it just feels off. Whereas Zack Snyder, very stylistic, and most people say that's all he is. He's all style and no substance. But I would disagree on this one, because this film, like I said, it is very quotable. It is very memorable for its visuals and its excellent performances by some of these actors in here, putting everything into it in this over-the-top graphic comic book style. So again, I'm going to give this one to 300. It's disappointing to me that the 300 Spartans wasn't more like some of these epic films that they were making at the time with those time period things, like Ben-Hur and everything. They got the time period right, and it didn't feel like some weird amalgamation of a Western and this epic, storyline. So, yeah, 300 winning 4-0 over 300 Spartans. It's unfortunate. It doesn't mean that I do not like the 300 Spartans, and I do not suggest it to anyone. I think it is a fine film. It is well acted. It is well done, but it does have that awkwardness to it, to me at least. Maybe if you watch it, you might enjoy it. So give it a shot. But what do you think of my comparisons here? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing, and when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members to view prior to it going up on the schedule for all of the other subscribers down the road. So if you want to help get more movies on this channel that you want to see me review, become a Plus member. Well, that's the end of another Versus Night. If you missed last week's Versus Night, check out the link up in here. Or if you've missed any of the other Versus Nights, check out our playlist and see anything that you have missed.